Okay, so opening up first with the bench press. Nice and simple, compound movement, really try to target the chest here. Now as for the rep range, what I'm doing is I'm picking a relatively heavy weight, trying to go about 5 to 8 reps. If I can work in the 5 to 8 rep zone and get more than 8 reps, I just put the weight up by 2.5 kilo. Essentially I'm doing a reverse AMRAP pyramid. So my reps are kind of to the limit and I just drop them by 10% every time. So I open up about 5 to 8 rep zone and then kind of jump to the 8 to 10 rep zone, and then eventually from the 10 to 12 rep zone, doing all of these sets to failure, and every time the reps go up, I drop the weight just by about 10%. And as you can see, I'm in a brand new gym. This is actually my workplace now. You can inform this by the fact that I'm doing the forbidden variation of the denim press. I'm just rocking the jeans, got a hat on, and an aerodynamic vest top on. Nothing's matching. You don't know if I'm dressing for hot or cold, but that's the way I like it because I'm actually allowed to press in jeans. I'm allowed to do whatever I want because this is an entirely private space. No one is in here other than me and my lovely training partner that you can see I very much need. Now moving on from the bench press, you can see that I've got the barbell rows. I always find these really difficult to know like what level am I cheating to, you know, because I think you should be allowed some level of cheat as the weight gets heavier, but I just never know and I always feel really funny about it, so it's never an exercise I really like to do, but I'm trying to learn to love it. I've started off with about 85 kilos, I've then moved down to 80 and then eventually to 75, and I'm just going kind of all out with these. I'm not really caring so much about my form, I'm just trying to get it to move it from A to B. Now here are the dreaded squats. I've not really liked squats ever since Squattober. They just kind of ruined my form and my feeling on them. Like I don't think these are as deep as I'd like them to be. Once again though, it is actually quite nice squatting in denims or jeans, because you kind of get like a little bit of like, I don't know, like a stretch reflex kind of thing going on. It's I feel like it's like what squatting in a suit's like. But eventually I did kick them off, and you can see I have lost the jeans now, and I'm just straight in with the shorts. But once again, I'm not really happy about how it's moving. I think it's just moving pretty slow, pretty mechanically, and then as well at the same time, I think the depth could be better. I think it's quite hingy. I think it's quite good morning-y. It's just not what I would want out of my squat. But we're getting there. We're plugging away. And once again with these, I'm just dropping from, I think in this first week, I went from 100 to 90, and then I went down to 80 or something just to finish. Once again, I've done these kind of AMRAP style. They were kind of relatively easy, but I was just getting myself used to the squats. It's quite funny because actually, as you can see on my channel, took a bit of hiatus, made a couple of life gains, you know, been getting more clients and stuff like that. And this first kind of week was after a training hiatus, so it's good to see the kind of before and after of where I am now to kind of where these videos are. As you can see, a lot of the form is kind of rushed, it isn't as good, and I think as well I'm looking pretty soft in these videos. I'm lifting pretty lightweight, so it's nice to see that in this kind of short period of time that I've improved, kind of put back on some muscle, and that my form's just got, you know, a lot better. So with this, I've got the superset. We're just this is a massive superset actually. It gets ridiculous. So we go from the cable pushdowns straight into the dumbbell bicep curls. I think I'm really like pushing my stomach forward now when I'm doing these for some reason. But you know, I don't think it's too bad form. I think it's decent momentum, decent pace. You know, I'm not cheating the weight too much, which is nice, which is quite rare of me in this kind of opening video, it seems, because I am just kind of rushing from A to B. You can tell I'm not used to the work. I'm probably not training all that close to failure. So yeah, once again, it's nice to see, you know, how much I've improved in this short time. As I think this was filmed round about the end of January. So yeah, it's been sitting there for a long time. It's just been sitting on the camera for ages. I try this and I just go, nope. It's not, there's a lot of heave, there's a lot of swing, and the engagement isn't great. I mean, to be fair, I think I could slow the eccentric down on this, but here we go. I'm not used to it, there's a bit of sway, but you know, could be worse. I'm giving myself a bit of like I'm gonna give myself 7 out of 10 for that. Let me know in the comments down below, what is that lateral raise form? Are we being as generous as 7 out of 10? I don't know. And you can see I'm just like that, I'm gassed, I'm done, and it's not even the weights, it is the cardio. Literally banging on my chest, I cannot do it. I cannot keep up with it. And I'm really a fan of the odd variations this week. You can see me opening up with the jacket press. There we are. He's got the shorts on, but he's dressed for the Arctic. I was actually really surprised with this set. So I hadn't done overhead press for a long time, and I felt like I did pretty well. I got about 50 kilos in the bar. There's me moving down to 45. Once again, getting quite shocked about how easy it's moving. Even in the moment, I was like, am I done? Is that it? And once again, obviously, now on the programme, I'm finding that this is moving a lot smoother and I'm moving a lot heavier weights. So yeah, it's doing good. Once again, now it's nice and quick. I've lost the jacket, torn it off with a pump, and once again, this is feeling pretty easy. I think I'm a little sway backed, to be honest. Like, I think I look a little bit like Donald Duck there when I'm pressing. I have ironed this out. I think I'm just a bit soft in the hips. I think I should really be squeezing my glutes, keeping my legs underneath me. But obviously, once again, getting used to it. What is crazy is I'm 7 minutes into this video. I've not really talked about the training philosophy. So you can see here I'm opening up the lat pull bands, and you get the gist. I'm going heavy, then kind of medium, and then kind of light. I'm just kind of taking it all to failure. And the reason for this is that I found that I could get the
One more.
When I've done programs like this before, I've used rep ranges like this, is I get the benefit of training high reps, I get the strength benefit of training low reps, and this is pretty build sciencey, but I feel like I get that kind of, you know, muscle density, lifting heavy, and then that kind of muscle hypertrophy, lifting light. I get good engagement when I'm lifting a little bit lighter as well, and I know that is complete bullshit, to be honest with you.
Nice, that's true.
That's how I feel, and a lot of this is kind of placebo, and I think when you find something works for you, if you keep doing it, you're on a good track. You know, training doesn't need to be complicated, doesn't need to be optimal. As long as it's good, you're going to get where you need to be. So yeah, I think these are a little bit wonky, to be honest. But I'm horsing around some weight. It's looking good, I think. And there we are, there are the deadlifts. Now, I hadn't done deadlifts in ages again. I think it's not so much the weight that I find to be the trouble. And this week is, I remember at those early days of this programme, it was just like the reps. I don't know, it felt like every weight was just as hard as the last. Like, it didn't matter how light the weight was, it was just pushing myself through that position, you know, that was really difficult for me. Like, I don't think these get really any easier, and it's quite funny to see because, you know, I'm dropping the weight quite significantly between each set, but it's not really that explosive power that I've lost, but maybe just that work capacity. And I find that to kind of apply to all of this. This is why this kind of reverse pyramid AMRAP style of training is really good, because I think it gets you everywhere where you need to be. Gets you dipping your toe in the strength pool, dipping your toe in the hypertrophy pool, and then as well dipping your toe in the kind of endurance, or I suppose like the work capacity zone. You know, you're finding yourself being able to kind of handle a lot of work because you're making yourself do a lot of work. It's a little bit minimalist, I suppose, but I feel like I'm also maximising effective reps. You know, I'm training close to failure fairly regularly, and just one set into the next kind of thing. So this is pretty good. I wouldn't expect this weight to move like this. It's moving like fucking horribly, but you know, we move, and here we are. Happy 40th to whoever's birthday it was. I think it was actually to the gym owners, but there we go. And yeah, just doing these lunges, pretty heavy. These are the heaviest dumbbells the gym's got. It's looking okay actually. I think the form looks a little bit kind of all over the shop, but I don't think I'll look back at that big old gut and the titties sticking out there. And yeah, just trying to get that leg engagement. And I kind of love this movement, to be honest. I think it is just such a good one. You know, that single leg training. I've never liked single leg training, but I actually like walking lunges. Weirdly enough, I know they're the bane of some people's existence, but for me, they're pretty good. And as you can see here, I'm moving on with the 2012 Metrosexual Hipster incline press. This is really anabolic if you are going to drink an IPA after your workout, or if you find yourself at artisanal coffee shops, or if you think that bacon and facial hair is a personality trait. So yeah, you can see here I'm getting a decent stretch on the pecs. I was actually surprised by this. I have not really done incline press as a main variation before, and I've got about 70 kg in the bar here, and for me it was moving pretty light. It was also pretty fun, to be honest, just to be able to just come in the gym wearing whatever I wore on the street, because once again I'm not going to get in trouble. So we've lost the jumper, the hat and the jeans remain, and we're just getting that anabolic incline press. What's quite funny is this is kind of later in the week, and I feel like it's daft to say because you don't think you get results that quick, but I feel like even in this video here, my physique is looking like slightly better, which is something I'm happy about. And there we go, he's lost all of the metrosexual get up and he's ready to play for the Portuguese football team. Hat stays on, hat loyal. And yeah, we've just dropped down to 60 kilos. So we have went 70, 65, and then right down to 60, high reps to finish. This is really good. I think the chest pump's amazing because you just get that kind of dense chest pump from the heavy work, and then you just get that fluff and pump right towards the end. You know, doing 12 reps with the 60 kg. I've got some chin up grip lat pull downs. I don't know why I ever stopped doing these. This was actually the movement that I first ever felt my lats on. I think it's just maybe from the elbow angle. Like, I never knew what my lats were. My mate was like, "This machine works your chest," when I joined the gym, and I just believed them. And yeah, I started to feel my lats, and I was like, "What the hell are these? What's this thing in my back?" And I don't know, I stopped doing them. And then obviously I learned years later that this is a back exercise, not a chest exercise. And yeah, so I went back to these, and I think I can even say now, I've only been doing them for a wee while, I'm starting to feel a wee bit wider. I feel like I look a little bit wider here. First set, drop down, 75. The one thing is that this bar kind of spins a little bit. It's the grip, to be honest with you. Standard strap bars, but it's straight bar, sorry. And rubber handles, and they just make it worse because they just widen the grip circumference. I don't know anyone that's been helped by those rubber handles. This is actually my lightest set, so this one I did a little bit differently. Rather than starting on my heaviest set for leg press, I start on my lightest, let myself kind of warm up and do like a standard pyramid, high reps, then move into the kind of lower rep stuff, just adding plates every time. And I superset it with calf raises. You can see at this point as well, my mobility here is really bad. I'm not getting a good sync on the ankles, they're just really tight. And you can see in this video with my hair that I should have been keeping the hat on because it looks bumba-clot. And yeah, there's a lot of shake on this, to be honest with you. It's nice to see again that I think my form's improved a lot with this. I'm going decently heavy. I'm going decently heavier here, and I'm getting a bit of a stretch, but I think I'm biasing my elbows coming out too much. If I maybe kept them a little bit closer to my head, I'll get better bicep engagement, or tricep engagement, sorry. And here we are, switching in with the bicep curls. Now these, I think they could be a little bit stricter in the eccentric, maybe a bit more a squeeze at the top as well. But you can see, I think the physique is like starting to respond. The remnants of the physique are starting to come together. Yeah, not much to say really. It's just a little superset, one into the other. It's the same philosophy actually. Once again, reverse pyramid, going heavy, lower reps, and then just kind of going higher reps every time. What's good actually is you can see I'm shaking like hell on this, and nowadays doing this workout, you know, maybe a month in or so, I don't shake like that at all. Like it feels fairly simple for me actually to do these weights, which is just a great improvement to see for myself. I suppose in this video I really need to talk about exercise selection as well. So if you look at the structure of most days, they're kind of set up quite traditionally. There is a traditional kind of, almost like your kind of regular 5x5 kind of deal. Now not in the rep ranges, but in the exercise selection, I'm talking, you know, that first day we've got squat, bench, barbell rows, you know, biceps, triceps, all that stuff, lateral raises. You know, it's very traditional. You find on day 3, the third day, I am doing an incline press, I'm doing like a leg press. It's all basically, I'm essentially swapping the structure. The structure stays the same, but the exercises just swap, so that I'm hitting each muscle group in the exact same way, but just from a slightly different angle. The only difference is the deadlift day in the middle, but that is also very much like your kind of middle of the week. You know, if you've ever done something like starting strength, you know, in the middle of the week, you've got your overhead press, you've got your deadlifts. It's very similar to that, except I've just made it maybe slightly more kind of, I don't know, bodybuilding specific, or added a bit more kind of muscular variations than really leaning on the compound lifts like a program like that does. So yeah, it's I'm excited to see where this program goes, and I'll keep you guys posted. I think this video is a little bit rushed. It's funny to say that considering I made it in January, but it's just been sitting on my camera, so I'm going to be a wee bit more serious with my training, serious about taking it to failure, and serious with these videos. If you'd like me to analyse any other programs, let me know.